All right, guys, after doing tons of research on what to do next to the Mustang, figured it out. We've done the back of the car, we've done the side of the car, now we need to do the front of the car. So let's get to it. Hey, what's up, guys? Once again, with the Mustang, giving it a nice pamper. We did side skirts last time, we did carbon fiber the other day on the back with the deck lid and the license plate surround. So now the next thing to do is change up the front. The front has never been touched since the chin spoiler back in 2014. So it's been a very long time, and I've actually always liked the front grille of the Mustang GT. On the 2013, I thought it's always looked aggressive and looked good, but I didn't want to get rid of fog lights, and I wanted to do something different than everybody else for the most part. The thing though is that I really like the RTR lights on the newer S550 Mustangs, and I thought to myself, I wonder if they make it for this generation. The answer is no. RTR does not make the grille for this generation. But thankfully, after a lot of searching, i5 Auto House out in California custom makes an RTR style grille for this generation of Mustang, and I'm gonna show it to you. Give me 1 second. So here we have the grille itself. So with this, it'll go on there and have that really cool kind of Von Gittin Jr. RTR look. And huge thanks to SSR Collision for letting us use their shop today in order to install this. Buddy Chris here, you might remember, had the convertible Terminator that I reviewed. Dude, it was a really fun day. Everything went well, absolutely, which is great. But you love to do lighting stuff, it seems like. Yeah.
The more lighting, the better.
Figured I would hit up my friend to save my life here and help put this in. You confident it's gonna work?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Okay guys, so first things first, we gotta pop the hood. And sorry if I sound stuffy because the pollen here in Georgia is absolutely destroying me right now. But first thing we gotta do, pop the hood, and we gotta take the entire bumper off, which sounds really scary, but on the Mustang, it's really not all that bad. I've done it a few times to do the superchargers and things of that nature, so it's not bad. Also, side update. Hi, Santiago.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Side update, VMP Gen 3 supercharger, being a champ. I'm gonna knock on everything, but Smurf loves this supercharger. It's freaking fantastic. It's such a fun street car now, and it kind of feels like a Terminator Cobra if you've ever been in one of those. So we gotta take out screws, 1, 2, then push pin here, and here. And then they just, oh wait, and also here. Go ahead, if you're gonna be working with body stuff a lot in a car, invest in a push pin tool essentially. Just prise it up and it works. I think we got one more.
One there.
And that's a screw. This also has like a screw combined with a push pin, which is very strange.
You gotta apply pressure to them to get them
to unlock. Yeah, because it's more like a fork like that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. When you film something, you add 3 hours to a job. That's what happens.
Cut.
Yeah, no, yeah, because like, what people don't know, when I'm filming these videos, I'm constantly thinking what it looks like in editing, and I just don't want the same angle the whole time, so I'm like, don't move.
That's
wait,
not a good shot.
Wait, we gotta change up the shot. It has to be visually interesting. Do you know for a long time I thought you had to remove these, like when I was younger?
Gosh.
I was like, how come this won't come off? All right, so see how easy that is? Piece of cake.
Clearly.
All right, so we got the front pretty much disconnected.
So Chris is gonna start the car. We're gonna turn the wheel so it's easier to get to the rest of the bumper. Ta-da!
Those are 7s.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
I got my first taste working on cars by doing the Mach 1 grill on the New Edge.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, don't mess with your cars, you're gonna break it. I was like, no dad, do this grill with me, it's gonna be a great experience. And then we didn't, you know, my dad didn't have any tools, he wasn't a car person. So we had no tools, no nothing. My dad was like, David, stop it. You just need to go to the store and buy the right tool. Then we went to the store, bought the right tool, grill came off in literally like 3 minutes. But you have to have the right tools. But having the right tools usually means lots and lots of trips to the store.
Is that it?
Yeah. See?
No, we're still attached somewhere.
What is that?
Oh, we're not, we're plugged in. You know, it's toy, like a Toiger. I did this when I did the VMP blower too. don't forget to unplug the fog lights. So the fog lights are this really annoying clip that you've obviously seen before if you worked on a car. And then essentially you take a flathead and you get it out.
Temperature sensor. Set that up there so it ain't sitting on the ground.
Sweet.
It's out.
It's weird. This is gonna be the last time it looks like this.
Anything's better than factory. I'm gonna take out the fog lights just because it's less chance of something getting messed up.
Okay. Oh, is it just that?
Yeah.
And these? Oh,
three.
wow. It's not bad.
It's in 2 pieces. So what you got to do basically is you're gonna have to remove this outer shell first, or I'm sorry, the inner. So the inner's gonna come out and then the outer's gonna come out after that. It's either that or once it starts to come out, sometimes that you can use them, do that process backwards. Sometimes the outer will come out first and then the inner. It really depends on the grill and how old the clips are. And this one, it actually looks like the inner or the outer, the face of the grill is actually gonna come out first.
Right.
Just because of how easy it's coming out, and it always sounds like it's gonna break. Don't worry about breaking it. You're not. It's just under tension. It's going to.
And it makes a weird sound.
It really
makes a
does.
nasty sound.
Yeah. Don't work in a circle. Zigzag. And as you do, apply slight pressure down and let basically the tension do the work of unsnapping it. A lot of people try and pry and they pry and they pry and they end up snapping them off, and then you need to go and buy a new grill. But if you just take your time with the whole process, this whole process can go simple if you keep a cool head.
Right.
You start
And
rushing.
chill.
You start rushing and it screws up the entire job. These are a little bit stiffer only because that plastic is a little more rigid, which allows it to unsnap pretty easy. These bumpers are made, I think this one's polypropylene, which is a very flexible
Which makes it
plastic.
durable but annoying to take off.
Exactly, so it doesn't want to unsnap. It's gonna start bending before it finally lets go. So you wanna try and release as much of that tension, and you might have to go back and forth 3 or 4 times on the same clip to get it to unsnap.
I'm more concerned about the lighting portion of this than the actual physical part. The physical part is easy. Actually, any Mustang grill ever, SN95, New Edge, that is so easy. If you just want to change the look of your car, that's an hour job.
And that's it, no broken clips.
This grill has been on the car for 7 years
Yeah.
and has not moved.
Yeah. I'm
Pretty-
surprised that it came out without breaking any of the clips.
Fresh out of the bag. That's a sack. Nice. With the ducts too.
Yeah. So to put this in, it's just the opposite.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wait,
make
right?
sure that it doesn't need that inner support, which I don't think it does.
Okay. Hey guys, honest mistake. We didn't need to take out this support. Things happen. Dude, when you're working on cars, sometimes you do things backwards,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
At least
So-
something didn't break at that point.
That's what I mean. Like,
then you get back to it, you're like, wow, I didn't even
That's
have
what
to
I'm
do
saying.
that.
It's like, I think it's good to just admit, like, Chris is like, no, we can't show that in the video. Like, yes, we can. There's been so many install videos I've done to where, like, yes, I'm leaving the mistake in there. That way people don't make the same mistake. You know, that way they're like, oh yeah, David screwed up. He's a screw up. Follow the screw up, right?
No, this is a first try shot at it.
Yeah, no, I've never touched a grill in this gen,
grab,
so 1 hour in, we already have to cut something. That seems to always be the case with anything we do. The grill itself isn't gonna fit unless we cut off a part of the old section of the car.
The part I bought for that car was the exhaust. It was $160.
I figured the spoiler was gonna be the one that cost you a bunch.
That bad lighting.
Look at his license plate duck bill.
So we're gonna cut this here and here. But when this goes in, that through, it hits. So we gotta take that out, and it's hitting right here.
Damn, dude, I've never seen someone cut that speed.
Yeah, you can say that. Just trying to get all of them in the right place at the same time, essentially. This shouldn't hit. This should just slide through because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So we just got to trim here to here and then here to here. So
Okay, so after lots of cutting, Chris, it's much cleaner now.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better, and I'm actually really excited to see what it looks like, because it's gonna look like a completely different car with this on there, I think.
Starting to fit in there like it should.
That looks a lot better too,
Yeah.
because all the supports right here, they look kind of funky.
Now it's just open.
Yeah.
It was like a buck-tooth Mustang. It was like, no.
It is a really tight fit.
Well designed though.
I'd rather it be a tight fit than a loose one.
Yeah, ain't that the
Going down the road going... All right, so we have pretty much no wiring done yet, but we want to actually see what it looks like. So let's do this. Oh yeah,
Oh boy.
that's cool.
That's something else.
That's
I got
really
it on
cool.
this side.
I've never seen a grabber one, actually. I've never seen a done grabber, so it looks really cool with the contrast of this. Tight fit. Oh yeah, it's flush. It's really good. Good job, i5 Auto House. Seriously, you did a great job. All right, as you can see, it's nighttime now, but we went out to get some dinner / lunch, whatever it was. And now we're gonna wire up the lights and put on the bumper. Sit it down gently.
So we're gonna use this wiring diagram that states on the left headlamp assembly, which we're working on. Exterior light system, our park light is gonna be a violet with white stripe, and a brown and a green wire is for the cornering light. But what we're focused on is this black and gray wire and the violet and white. T-tap's in place already, black and gray wire, and then our violet and white wire. So we tapped into those. We're going to put our T-tap ends on. T-taps, it allows us the ability to take the bumper on and off without having to constantly redo the wiring.
On the way to get dinner, I was like, thanks, Chris, for helping me out. And you're like, it's okay, I like doing this stuff.
I do.
And I was like, oh, thank God.
Very much enjoy this. If you don't like what you do, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah, we're almost lined up.
Well, clip.
Okay, Mr. Chris, RTR style lights on an 11 to 14 Mustang GT. Pretty freaking cool in my opinion, because I don't think I've ever seen one in person like this. Have you?
No.
And we go to a lot of Mustang stuff, and I've never seen them on this kind of Mustang, so I feel kind of proud, because it's just one of those things where it feels good to be a little bit different. Because I think one of the #1 complaints why a lot of people don't buy Mustangs is there's too many of them.
It's hard to make yourself unique in the Mustang world.
It is, but at the same time, the aftermarket is so massive that I was able to find a custom grill made for this car. You know, I don't really see that. And it was pre-made. Fitment was actually pretty good.
Yeah, fitment was pretty good. We had to trim a couple things, but for the most part, it actually fit in rather well.
Once we trim things up.
Doing it the way we did to make it completely wide open was definitely a good choice.
It's kind of like a mix between the Mustang GT with the fog lights, combined with the RTR Mustang that Von Gittin Jr. has, and then combined with the GT500, because you got the big, wide mouth. You know, so you have all those things, because I don't really like putting Shelby parts that's not a Shelby, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
So I think we met in the middle with everything. On that note, high five. Killed the game. SSR Collision. Check Chris out. He's a great dude. I've known you since Virginia, and he came down and actually worked on the Blue 240 at one point.
Absolutely.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for watching, and I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. it.